Imagine a world, right, powered by clean, limitless energy. And it's available to everyone, basically at no cost.
Sounds amazing, almost utopian.
Totally. But what if I told you that maybe, just maybe, that technology isn't a dream? That it already exists, but it's being deliberately kept from us.
Ah, okay. So we're diving into the free energy suppression conspiracy theory today.
Exactly. We're going deep on this one.
And it's a fascinating idea, isn't it? It really taps into that hope for progress, but also, that little bit of suspicion about powerful institutions.
For sure. The core belief, pretty much, is that these viable, completely pollution-free energy sources, they're out there, but they're being actively shut down.
Right, suppressed by these, well, shadowy entities for their own benefit, supposedly.
And it's quite a range of things they talk about, not just one idea.
Oh, yeah. You hear about perpetual motion machines.
Which, okay, mainstream science says, nope, violates the laws of physics.
Right. But also cold fusion generators, these torus-based systems, some really unique concepts.
And then it gets even wilder, like reverse-engineered alien tech. Anti-gravity. It's a broad spectrum.
It definitely is. And just so everyone's clear, as we explore this, everything we're talking about today comes from, publicly available info outlining these claims.
Yeah, our goal isn't really to prove or disprove if these machines work.
No, not at all. It's more about understanding the theory itself. Like, what are the main arguments? Who do they say is behind it all?
And what kind of evidence or examples do the proponents actually point to? That's the mission for this deep dive.
Okay, so where do we start? Maybe the timeline. Because this isn't supposed to be a new thing, right?
No, not at all. The claim is this suppression has been going on for ages.
Yeah.
Allegedly kicking off way back in the mid-19th century.
Wow, mid-1800s, that's a long time to keep something under wraps.
It really is. A very long game, if it's true.
So who are the alleged villains in this story? Who's doing the suppressing?
Well, it's a pretty varied list. You've got government agencies, obviously. Big corporations are mentioned a lot.
And I bet certain industries get singled out.
Oh, definitely. The fossil fuel industry, the nuclear industry, they come up frequently.
Which, from the theory's perspective, makes a kind of cold logic, right? If you have truly free energy, their entire business model is, well, threatened massively.
Yeah, that core argument about protecting existing interests, it resonates with people. But the theory takes it a step further, doesn't it? It pulls in the scientific community, too.
It does, and that's a really interesting, maybe controversial part of it. The claim is that the scientific establishment itself plays a role.
How so? Through things like peer review.
Exactly. Peer review, academic pressure, the funding process. The idea is that these mechanisms are used, maybe unconsciously, maybe deliberately, to kind of fence off certain areas of research.
So unconventional energy ideas just don't get a fair hearing, or they get actively shut down.
That's the allegation, that it sort of controls what's even considered legitimate science,
It paints a picture of science maybe being a bit more closed off than we usually think. Okay, let's talk about the energy itself. We're not just talking about slightly better batteries here.
No, absolutely not. The proponents believe devices exist or could exist that tap into really fundamental, almost exotic energy reservoirs.
Like what? What kind of sources?
Things like the quantum vacuum zero-point energy. It's this theoretical concept, a huge potential energy source, even in supposedly empty space.
Right, I've heard of that. And the idea is we could just pull usable power from it.
Pretty much. Extracts significant power for little to no cost. The energy is supposedly all around us, just waiting. But the theory goes, the tech to do it is being hidden.
And this suppression isn't just about generation tech, right? There are other related claims, too.
Yeah, like efficiency improvements. You often hear about things like super high-mileage carburetors.
The legendary 100 miles per gallon carburetor.
Exactly. The claim is patents for stuff like that, things that would drastically cut energy use, get bought up quietly by big companies.
And then just locked away in a vault somewhere. Never developed.
That's the narrative. Again, the motive is supposedly to protect the market for existing products, keep consumption high.
Okay, so we've got the timeline, the alleged suppressors, governments, industries, science, and the kinds of tech involved, from zero-point energy to efficiency gains. Let's look at some specific people often mentioned. Stanley Meyer.
Stanley Meyer, yeah. His name comes up a lot. The sources we looked at don't go deep into his specific research, but he's consistently cited as someone who supposedly invented a water-fueled car.
A car that runs on water.
That's the claim. And that he faced, serious opposition, maybe even suppression because of it.
Okay. And Eugene Malov. another name that appears.
Right. Malov was a big advocate for cold fusion research. Again, no specific research details in our source, but he's another figure cited, and sometimes his death is brought up within this conspiracy framework viewed with suspicion.
Interesting. And then there's the big one, Nikola Tesla.
Ah, Tesla. A genuine genius, no doubt. But how he fits into this theory is, well, it's complicated.
People often say his Wardenclyffe Tower was meant to give the world unlimited free energy, right?
That's the common claim in these circles, yes. But the information we have suggests it's a bit more nuanced. Tesla's vision for Wardenclyffe was incredibly ambitious.
What was the actual plan then?
It was about the wireless transmission of electricity over vast distances. And yes, he envisioned doing this potentially without charging the end user directly for the transmission.
So free delivery, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. But the energy itself still had to be generated somewhere first, probably using the conventional methods available back then.
Ah, okay. So it wasn't about generating energy from nothing. It was about transmitting existing energy wirelessly and maybe freely.
Exactly. It's a subtle but really important distinction. His ideas were revolutionary for distribution, but maybe not free energy generation in the sense the theory often uses it.
That clarification is key. Okay, moving towards more recent times. Gary McKinnon, the computer hacker.
Yeah, the Scottish hacker. He claimed famously that when he illegally accessed U.S. military and NASA computers, he found evidence of, well, secret stuff.
Including things related to advanced technology, free energy.
Some interpreted his findings that way, yes. He talked about lists of non-terrestrial officers and ship-to-ship transfers, fueling speculation about recovered alien tech, which often links back to free energy ideas. His claims definitely brought the theory into the information age.
Suggesting the proof might be hidden in classified digital files.
Right, locked away on secure servers.
And then there's this other, maybe more out there connection, the Tartaria theory.
Oh, yeah, Tartaria. That's a whole other rabbit hole, but it connects here. It's this idea of a lost worldwide civilization, Tartaria, supposedly incredibly advanced.
Advanced how? Like technologically?
Yes, proponents believe they had amazing tech, including free wireless energy, maybe using atmospheric electricity or something.
Yeah, and what happened to them?
The theory claims they were wiped out, or at least their civilization was destroyed by some cataclysm, often called a mud flood. And crucially, that this whole history, this advanced past, has been deliberately covered up by governments, erased.
Wow. So how does that connect back to free energy suppression?
Well, it provides a sort of historical backstory. It suggests free energy isn't just being suppressed now, but that the knowledge itself was potentially lost or destroyed as part of this massive historical cover-up. It explains why we don't have it today, according to that theory.
I see. It adds another layer entirely. Okay, so let's try to pull this all together.
Right. Summarize the core claims.
So based on the public info outlining this theory, the argument is, since way back in the mid-19th century, powerful groups,
Governments, fossil fuel companies, nuclear industry.
even allegedly the scientific establishment,
Right.
have been actively stopping clean, cheap, maybe even free energy technologies from becoming widespread.
And they supposedly do this in various ways, controlling research funding, peer review,
Buying up patents and burying them.
and in the more extreme versions of the theory, even harassing or silencing inventors.
And the technologies themselves cover a huge range. Perpetual motion ideas, zero-point energy devices, cold fusion.
Maybe even reversed alien tech, depending on who you ask. Proponents point to people like Meyer and Malov, and they often reinterpret Tesla's work.
Yeah, and sometimes it even weaves into these larger alternative histories, like the whole Tartaria thing.
Exactly. And again, it's really important to stress, what we've laid out here are the claims and the structure of the theory itself based on what's publicly discussed about it.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the narrative. So as we wrap up this deep dive, it does leave you thinking, doesn't it? In a world that's genuinely facing huge energy challenges, climate change, the need for new solutions is undeniable.
It is.
So what does it mean when significant numbers of people believe theories like this one? Or, on the flip side, what happens when such ideas are dismissed out of hand?
Yeah, how does belief or disbelief in something like free energy suppression, how does that influence how we approach real-world energy innovation?
And what does it say about scientific skepticism versus maybe cynicism or our trust in the institutions that shape our world?
Definitely food for thought. It touches on how we process information, who we trust, and what possibilities we're willing to entertain, even if they seem extraordinary.
It really does. Something to definitely keep considering long after you stop listening.